Okay, today's workout is going to be completely using a bench, okay? This is a really inexpensive item that you guys can grab and you can do a lot with if you've just got some dumbbells. We're going to start with split squats. So your back toe is going to go on the bench, her front knee is over her front ankle. So it's basically like a stationary lunge and just the back leg is on a higher surface. So you can do this with body weight or with weights. You're going to do 15 on one side, and then you're going to switch and do 15 on the other side. If you're a beginner, you can knock down those reps. Really pushing through the heel as you're coming up. Trying not to lock out at the knee at the top. You're going to do these for a total of 15 reps each side. Then you're going to go into one arm dumbbell rows using the bench. So she's going to kneel on the bench, one foot standing, one knee on the bench. Now her wrist is underneath her other shoulder there, and then she's going to pull up to where her wrist is still in line with the elbow as she pulls up, flat back. Her standing leg is not locked out, abs are tight. 15 on one side, and then she's going to do 15 on the other. So if you haven't done one arm stuff, it's good to really throw in the routine. After she's completed 15 reps of each of those, she's going to go back into the split squats. After you've completed those for a total of 3 sets each, she's then going to do one-legged squats. Now we'll start with kind of the advanced move, and then I'll tell you how to knock it down. So balancing the whole time is ideal. You literally sit down on the bench and then pop right back up. And she's even holding a weight to make it more difficult. Key is to keep that standing leg heel down and that knee over the ankle. Make sure there's a 90-degree angle behind that knee. Now to knock it down a bit, you can leave that other foot down on the ground for support. So you can leave that toe down to help you out. That'll make it a little bit easier. But still keeping the same position for that standing leg. She's going to do 15 on one side and then 15 on the other. Then she's going to alternate that with one arm chest press with her legs up on the bench. So the legs up will just add a little bit extra core work. So the legs are going to come all the way up. Now the arm's going to come down into an L and then press right up. So keeping the wrist in line with the elbow, knuckles are to the ceiling. She's going to do 15 on one side and then 15 on the other arm. So see how she completes an L out here and then squeezes right up to about mid-sternum. And the legs up will give you some abs. So you're going to do 15 each side of that and then go back into the one-legged squats. Complete a total of 3 sets of those 2 exercises. Then she's going to go into step-ups using the bench. Now obviously if you have an extremely sturdy chair, you can try and use that, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you know it's heavy enough. She's going to step up and step down. So that leg goes all the way up, leg comes all the way down. She's holding weights, but you can use just body weight. Making sure that heel gets completely on the step. You're going to do 15 on one leg and then 15 on the other. After you've completed both legs, you're going to come to the end of the bench and do a seated lateral raise. So knees are still over ankles, feet shoulder width apart. Elbows are slightly bent and raise out to the side, lower back down to the hips. Just about shoulder height, no higher than that. You're going to complete this for a total of 15 and then go back into the step-ups and complete each leg for 15. After you've done 3 sets of both of these, your next superset is going to be a bridge using the step. Again, you could also use a higher surface for this. Just so you know, you could use your couch. So heels are going to be shoulder width apart. You're going to be on the ground. You're going to squeeze your glutes up into a bridge and then lower back down. So upper vertebra down to lower vertebra, articulating down to the ground, but the glutes will stay up, so you won't completely release that contraction. Now we're going to do 20 of these, really pushing through the heels. Try not to overextend, keep shoulders away from ears. After 20 of these, you're then going to do a bicep curl in the same seated position we did the lateral raise. So come back to the end of the bench. If you guys have an adjustable bench, there's all sorts of fun things you can do with that too. This one is just your basic flat bench. So she's going to twist and curl up and then lower back down to the sides of the hips. And see how she's keeping her elbows right to the sides, knees are over ankles again, not swinging, wrists are strong. We're going to do 15 of those. And then she'll go back into the bridges and complete 20 of those. We're going to complete those 2 exercises for a total of 3 sets. And then we've got our last group of exercises, which there's going to be 3. So we're going to start with lying back on the bench and doing hip thrusts using the bench. So you're going to hold on overhead for leverage. Legs are going to come all the way up. They're going to swing slightly away and then push up to the ceiling. Just a little bit away and then to the ceiling. Trying to push through the heels if you can. Complete these for a total of 15 to 20. These ones really work the lower abdominals. After you've done these, you're going to do a set of bicycle crunches. Now doing the bicycle crunches, which are pretty basic on a higher surface, will give you just a little bit extra balance work. I want a total of 40 counts of these, 30 if you're a beginner. Then we're going to go into one arm tricep kickbacks. So we had 2 ab exercises, now we're going back into arms. Same kneeling position as the one arm row, except this time we're going to kick back. And see how she's keeping a 90-degree angle, not swinging too far forward. It's out, back to the 90, and then back out. Still keeping that other wrist directly underneath the shoulder, shoulders away from ears. And we're going to complete these for a total of 15. 15 on one side, and then 15 on the other. After you've done those, both arms, you would go back into the hip thrusts and the bicycles, and then would complete those 3 exercises for a total of 3 sets. And there's a complete workout using your flat bench.